Well, earlier this summer, Richland City Manager Cindy Johnson initiated a process to fill the Parks and Recreation Director vacancy by appointing Richland employee Phil Pinard as the interim department director. A demanding and diligent nationwide search for a new Parks and Rec director led to over 100 highly qualified candidates for the position. After a long and rigorous screening process, Cindy Johnson is pleased to announce that she has selected, drumroll please, Joe Schiessl as our new Parks and Recreation Director, effective September 1st. Cindy explained that Joe brings a unique perspective to this important position that I'm very excited about. Well, Joe, we're all very excited about it too, so welcome.
You may be saying to yourself, Joe Schiessl, that's a common name. That name sounds familiar. That's because Joe has been a City of Richland employee for 12 years, most recently as the Planning and Redevelopment Manager. Joe grew up in Washington State and attended Washington State University, go Cougs, where he received a bachelor's degree in environmental science and regional planning and a master's degree in urban and regional planning. And we caught up with Joe and talked with him about the unique dynamic he adds to the already strong Parks and Recreation Department, as well as can we now call him Joe Schiessl.
The city's strategic leadership plan is something that I just fully embrace. I've been part of it for a long time now, and it's a document that attempts to bring together various professions and points of view to very kind of strategically address issues. And so when I was coming into this position, I was arguing and lobbied some that the Parks Department can play a bigger role in that process. So for example, if we're talking about revitalization in the Central Business District, parks and plazas and programming and recreation all should be at the table and playing a part in that revitalization strategy. So that kind of work, along with streets and infrastructure and good urban planning, all go hand in hand, and we ought to sort of tackle those issues as a group. And I think myself coming in from kind of the planning profession into now Parks and Recreation gives me a bit of a unique perspective on just how to do that. So what does a Parks and Recreation Director do? First, we design and manage the park system. So as a city, we're growing, and the needs of the community are growing as well, and so over time the park system grows along with the community. But along with that growth comes very responsible sort of management of those assets. So the second thing the Parks Director does beyond the creation of the park system or the design of the park system is to manage it. And so that's, to me, actually almost more important than creating the new projects, is to look at some of our older parks and look at the heavier used parks and examine some of our maintenance and operation procedures and just make sure that we're doing it just as efficiently and cost-effective as we can, with an eye toward keeping up the crown jewels as places to really pay attention to and to respect. Another thing the Parks Director does is program the activities that happen in those spaces. And programming takes the place of, park rules all the way up to us, sponsoring programs in the parks based on community needs. So sort of build, maintain, and program, and I spend about a third of my time in each area. It's such an amazing opportunity, and I really feel blessed and humbled, to be given this task of maintaining this very important community asset. It's just such an opportunity, and one that I'm going to treat with the utmost respect. It's just something that I'm really looking forward to.
Joe told us that during his first few months on the job, he will be in a listening mode, but he did share with us that his first priorities are to become familiar with the people in Parks and Recreation, the staff, the commission, the various stakeholders, and of course the residents who use and enjoy our wonderful park system. On behalf of the City of Richland and its residents, I would like to congratulate Joe on his new career as Parks Director, and we eagerly await the great things the department will do under your direction.